Good morning. Well, I've had an interesting week in a way. I've gone back to the same place now 5.5 times. Because one of those times I was 2 feet from the door and I read a note on the door and it said, we will be back tomorrow. So I had to drive another 60 miles to get back home. I kept repeating the same thing over and over again every day until finally yesterday, some of it got done. So it's all about patience and tolerance and repetitive BS, I believe. So therefore I have a topic for today, and it's just, it's a miracle. The miracle is how funny it is after it's done, but how terrible it is while it's happening. You know those things like that? So let's do it. I'm in a nightmare while I'm breathing, awake in the daytime, awake in the daytime, awake in the daytime, awake. I'm living a nightmare in the middle of the day. I'm living a nightmare in the middle of the day, day. It doesn't seem to get any better as the day goes on. In fact, it's getting worse. My temperament is dangling by a thread. My nightmare is existing while I am awake. It won't go away, no matter how much I try. It's like I'm in a big city. I just wanna go home. But after driving for an hour, I come back same place that I started from. I have to find out why. Why is this happening? There is no answer to this deal. There's no answer to this deal, because it's a nightmare while awake. It's a nightmare while I'm awake. It's a nightmare while I'm awake. It's a nightmare while I'm awake. So guess what I think I should do? I go to sleep. I have a good night's sleep. I wake up in the morning. The nightmare starts all over again. I mean, it starts where it started yesterday. Yesterday. When will this go away? Hey, when will this go away? The magic, my friend, is stop, 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 move and stop, 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 move and stop, 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 move and smell the roses. Smell the roses. Smell the roses. And let that nightmare have its day. Let that nightmare have its day. Let that nightmare have its day and dissolve itself, itself, itself. Forever, ever, ever. I'm living in a nightmare. I'm living in a nightmare today. I'm living in a nightmare. I'm living it today. I found if I stop, that it all went away. 'Cause I stopped to smell the roses. I did, I did, I did, I did, I did, I did, I did. What that song, I gotta share this with you. One evening after going to Las Vegas, when we first moved here, I was exiting the town. I drove into an area that most of that area in Las Vegas, I had no idea where I was at. So I knew I was lost, so I Googled. After an hour and a half of driving and following her direction and starting to go like, what the heck is going on? I looked up and I saw the same identical stop sign that had been hit, that somebody had run into. And the odds of finding another one that looked like that somewhere in that big town was impossible. So I turned on the Google again, turned my phone off and turned it on, thinking that, okay, let's reset this thing. I spent close to an hour and a half again, and I ended up back at that same stop sign, but from a total different area. So I drove until I got still lost, and I started it up again. And then I received myself back at that same stop sign. It's happened 4 times. And in the meantime, I was going through a check stop because it was going into a national forest. The because it happened to be right next to this town of Las Vegas. And she says, I know you're not lost, but I really appreciate you coming by to see me. And I says, thank you, ma'am, and drove off. I was too embarrassed to tell her what was going on. And then you know what? I just pulled over and I stopped. I stopped. It pulled over and I stopped. And I'm looking at this sign. It was all faded out. You could hardly read it. And it had the town that I was living on it. And it had an arrow. So I made a left turn and followed that road, and I came right home. It's a true story. Actually, a true story. But I'll tell you what, it was, anyway, that's where actually the topic came from. And I'm embarrassed to talk about it a little bit, but it actually happened. Because you can't, when you don't really know where you're at, and nobody prints a map anymore, you can't just dial the phone, you can't just look up a map. You try to look up a map on the internet and it only shows a little tiny spot. And then it says, do you need directions? And when they give you the wrong directions over and over and over and over and over again, what do? You stop. I guess, because that's what I did, and there was the answer right in front of me. I got to get out of here before I have another nightmare. I can't rethink that any longer. I'm Keyboard Clark by Tim Clark. Type that name in, and you'll find me on the web. You'll find me there. You could start with one place and just go from there. Anyway, you guys have a good day, and hope you never have a nightmare while awake. It's not fun. Maybe a lot of you have. Anyway, thank you so much for your attendance today, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.